Welcome to
Well,
season. Oh my gosh, Selena. Okay, listen, she just berated me about not jumping in first, and then she did it. All right, I'm
wait, you guys, you know what? This is hysterical. I mean, you would think after 132 shows we could get this right. And I was like, wait a minute, did she say first and second? Because we're looking, we run a tight ship here and we haven't run a show. We have a script. Anna wrote in there. And I looked after her direction and went, oh, did she mean first? Because Anna's name is first and I'm second. So, hey guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to season 13 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat. A conversation providing tips for every entrepreneur and business owner.
Okay, so do you have a pitch deck for your small business? Mastering your pitch is crucial to capturing the attention of investors, customers, and partners. What are the elements of a compelling pitch? It isn't just about what you say, but how you say it, how you connect with your audience, convey your vision, and showcase your value proposition. Now, Maria Reed, executive producer and founder of Moving with the Military, has refined her pitch, equipped herself with the tools, and is ready to share all of this with you, including the confidence that makes her business stand out. Okay.
Welcome everybody. Eventually we will get this right. You know what I mean? But hey, look, we're rounding out season 13 and I could not have asked for a better guest to come on and talk with us. And I think no matter what, guys, every type of business in some way you are pitching in some way. And so Maria has been in the business for a bit, you know what I mean? And I think it's kind of cool to get to ask somebody that has a fantastic show on television, hey, what's some things, what's some answers you can give to other entrepreneurs? Because down to the nitty gritty, right? It is still pitching and it's still, I mean, you could be like a candy doer. Okay, well, candy doer still got to pitch, right? In some way.
Candy doer? Yes.
I don't know.
Doer, you have to pitch still.
I don't know what a candy doer does, but they do candy. Okay. So
I do think Anna, what you said is important though, Selena, because every business does have to pitch. So our call to action today, we want you to drop into the comments right now this answer to this question. Do you have a pitch deck or an elevator pitch? Yes or no? Right? It could be either. Do you have both? We're super curious to know if you have both. Most people practice like a short and sweet elevator pitch, but I don't know how frequently or how well that might be refined for a business that doesn't have to pitch very often. I'm excited to talk to Maria. We were just talking behind the stage about how you never know kind of moments. And I'm not going to go any further than that because she has some great stories about you never know when, right? Something might happen.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that call to action question. I love it. And you know what? I'm just throwing another row question out there. If you have a team, tell them in 30 seconds to tell you what they think about the business and how they tell others about it, because you would be surprised. And this is where I think some tips that Maria has can say, hey, does your team even know how to elevator pitch? Even just their mom. You know, when you go to dinner, your mom's like, so what do you do? Right? And you're like, I type and I push enter and
what was it your mom
show
said?
Goes out.
Selena does things with computery things or something.
Yes, that's what my mom said. I was like, Mom, I build websites. Flipping the hair, and she's like, so that's still doing in computery things. Like that was her language. And so anyway, okay, real fast, I just, we talked about this and we were showing Maria backstage, but I have to show you. So me and Anna are kind of excited because Maria came on. Let's see if this moves over. Come on. Okay, ready? Okay. Maria, look, Anna. Maria came on in season 1, you guys. And that just reminded me of one, when you also maintain your relationships and you cultivate them, everybody still can kind of continue to support you. And now we're in 13 and we kindly asked Maria, would you want to come back? And she was like, not just, she's like, hell's yeah. Like, let's do this. Right. So 13, guys, She's season 13, episode 132.
I know. 126.
Oh, wait, you're muted,
episodes.
Anna. Is it me or is it you?
I think it's you. I'm not muted.
It's me.
So 126. Yeah. 126 episodes after the fact, Maria is coming back on the show, where I think previously we just talked about like owning a business, right? We were just in our infancy of 15-ish minute coffee chat. And I think it was just very general information about like, what's it like to be the executive producer of a TV show? What's it like? Oh, and we didn't, you know what we did? We did workspace design.
Yeah. Remember we threw out
home office design.
Yes. And we said, pick which one, and she was fabulous. Anyway, okay, Anna, you're right. Let's get into her bio.
Yeah.
So we can do this conversation. So Maria Reed, she is, as we said, the host, executive producer, founder of Moving with the Military, and the creative mind for a series that is dedicated to surprising veteran and military families with heartfelt home makeovers. If you have never watched this show, and you are going to now have a tissue, because I always get a tear in my eye because it's just, it hits the heart, you know? As an active duty military spouse, Maria deeply understands the challenges of military life and has made it her mission to bring joy and comfort to those who serve. With a 25 career in the television industry, Maria has designed a wide range of sets, from modern masterpieces to timeless classics in locations around the world, you guys. Okay, her 20 years as a military spouse also instilled in her the values of resilience, resourcefulness, and the importance of making any place feel like home. She is passionate about creating beautiful, budget-friendly spaces with solutions that are removable, reusable, and perfectly suited to the dynamic lives of military families. Now, more than ever, Maria believes that home is her sanctuary, or our sanctuary. And she is driven by the desire to make a positive impact through creativity. She is excited to share her journey, connect with others, and collaborate to create something truly special. Right? Okay. Anna, you're muted though.
I know. I unmuted. Okay. I'm super excited. All right. Let's bring Maria up and bring her onto the stage. Maria. Oh, look, she's already with her coffee
cup. She's ready. Okay, let's dive into this. Okay, we're going to take our coffee cup selfie real fast, and then we're going to start. What do you think? Okay. Maria, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming back to episode 132.
Thank you for having me. I can't believe it's been that long, and I too am a candy maker.
Thank you. You're like, I get it. Right? See? Your candy is eye candy. So yeah, it's the good stuff. Da 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 da.
Eye candy's right behind me. Yeah. Eye candy.
Hey, can I just tell you, I love that I get to see Patrick in a lot of the content that you create, because it really kind of rounds out like you as a military spouse, and it's like, oh, there's that mysterious man in the uniform. So I love getting to see him. And are we going to get to see more of Patrick?
Soon? Yes. The short answer is yes. I've been asked a lot, like, you're not really married to a service member. He doesn't really exist because we don't really see him. We can thank the military for constant deployments and TDYs and trainings, and the fact that they don't necessarily want our service. It's a whole other conversation. Maybe I'm going to stay away from that one. Yeah. But yes, he is in the midst of transitioning, retiring out of the military. So we will see him more in 2025. He's going to be my co-host.
Oh my gosh. I live sometimes for the husband, wife, like, you know what I mean? Stuff that's happening, and just the stuff that I see of you guys. Anyway, like,
they're just so cute together, right?
Like, it's either going to be great, or it's not. So,
or it'll be great because it's not sometimes, and it'll be not great because it is. Well, you know how it goes. It is. It's going to be great. I'm just manifesting that right now. So, okay, because we have questions and we know you're going to give fantastic answers. Let's get this rolling, Miss Reed. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, Anna, let no. Oh, there you are. Oh, look, there's Maria in the picture with Patrick. So, okay. Maria, Anna, let's do this.
Yes. So today we're talking about pitching your business, right? And we asked everyone as their call to action, do they have a pitch deck or an elevator pitch? Maria, I want to know, what was your very first pitch and how did it go?
It's making me twitch. The pitch is making me twitch. It was not what I was expecting. Definitely a fail and crash and burn. It was, I had such high expectations, but it did not work out that way. They ended up not sponsoring us at all. And I thought my pitch was great. Like, you leave and you're like, yes, that's a win. It's awesome. No, it was like completely ghosted afterwards. I kept doing that email of, hey, so I'd like to follow up. Yeah, it was just bad because the truth is I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just so passionate. I didn't know what I was doing in the pitch, but I knew what we were doing in the show. And that's what I was really passionate about. And those things didn't meet. I didn't get that point across. And that was really hard. It was heartbreaking because you think you've got it all together. And when someone says no, you're like, you're crushed. Owning a business is personal. My most hated line that someone will say is, oh, it's not personal, it's business. No,
hate that line.
Personal because you've put your heart and soul into creating a business. Yeah. So I had to learn very quickly when you're pitching, you still have to be yourself, but how to take yourself out of it emotionally and understand it from the person you are talking to's perspective.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do sometimes in seconds.
Oh, so very hard.
Give us some background, Maria. Like when you were doing this first pitch, like kind of give us the process. Like how long did you prepare? How did you reach out to this person, right? Like how did you even get in front of them?
So LinkedIn is one of my favorite places to find the people who are doing business. You may not find that person because it might be their assistant who made the LinkedIn to begin with, but now you have a name and you may also have a face. So you've got to be a detective and find who the connections are that you have with that person. Figure out a common thread, which is what I did. I literally figured out a friend that we had in common. And when I sent a message, it was, hey, I had reached out to that person. I was just talking with Jack. He's a friend of yours from college. And he suggested that I give you a call. Would love to chat. Very vague. Like so vague. I didn't dive into it there, but Jack, he was like, wow, Jack's my bud. Okay, what's up? And then it was a very short pitch of this is what I do. I'd love to get this in front of you. Then we got into the big pitch. So it was like stages. Mm-hmm. And when we did the big pitch, I wasn't taking things into consideration like their audience, their needs. Why is it good for them? It was very one-sided. Why is it good for me? It's going to be great for me. This is what you're going to be able to do for us and for military families, but not what is it going to do for them? And that's what I think was the clincher. It was like, well, it's great. We love what you're doing. It's awesome. Yeah. Awkward silence because it wasn't focused on them. And when you're reaching out to potential sponsors, and I know this is tough to hear, but it has to be about them. Otherwise, why are they going to sponsor? What are they going to get out of it? Even though you have to do the what's in it for me, what's in it for you, the win-win, but it really needed to focus on them. And I had it kind of backwards. It was just about us. And I prepped for a hot minute. We made that pitch deck. I thought it was all there, but some of the parts were missing.
There's a question that I heard. I don't remember who it was that said it, but they asked me the question when we were talking about pitching. They said, what is the purpose of what you're doing? And why do I care? Why does my business need it? Right. And I was like, oh, that makes it really hard when you have like a feel good thing you're trying to pitch that really is more about like support as opposed to like bringing in the bucks, right? Kind of thing. So you kind of have to start to dig deep for that motivation And you're right, Maria. I think knowing their audience, knowing them is going to be so key to being able to say, this is why your business needs to support this.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's going to
No.
translate in this way to your
Mhm.
audience.
Yeah.
You know, and
yes, it just reminds me, and this, like when we're in this business, it always is a reset for me sometimes, because you do get to that emotional part and you're like you said, Maria, like everyone's gonna love this. Why wouldn't they want to be a part of this? It does. There is somebody punching numbers in the back to say, hey, we want to survive. So when we spend this money, what is our ROI, or what is this going to get us? And you always have to be ready. Like you just both said, you have to be ready, because that money's guy with the glasses, and you know how you see on the TV and the slicked hair, and he's like holding a paper that says, no, you know, hey, they're not hitting our criterias for when we give people money, you know.
So at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And it makes right. She just did a stereotype. I've been in the room with money women. Money women have been in that room.
Yeah.
They don't have the slick hair and they look fabulous.
Yes.
But it's still the same thought process of how is this helping our business? If we are investing X, what are we getting in return? And that's the part for me, even as a business owner, I want to be in the feel goods. Yeah. That's where I want to be. That's my happy place. Yeah. But it doesn't translate to the sponsor if they don't see what their win is for it.
Yeah.
Why am I going to give you these dollars?
So, okay, this leads us directly into our next question, Maria, which is, whoa, things are going all over the place. All right. Why do you need to know your business model to pitch correctly? Because I feel like what we're talking about right now is knowing our business model, knowing their business model, and being able to bring the two together to meet and join hands and sing kumbaya, right?
Come together. Love. So I've been asked a lot in every meeting that I've been in. The first question is, what's your business model? Because they want to know, how are you going to make money? Or if I'm in, and it depends on who you are talking to. Are you asking for an investor to come in? So they're going to ask, how are you going to make money so that I can get my money back? Mm-hmm. That's what they want to know. When it's in our situation with sponsors and advertisers, we are branded content. So basically, a sponsor coming on our show is because they want visibility. They want to be seen either directly or indirectly so that there's brand awareness. They're not going to put in so many dollars and get those dollars exactly back. It's a different model, but I needed to understand that, because branded content, what it allows for, and you know, maybe dating myself, but back in the day, that was called product placement. You watched a movie and they walked in with Domino's pizza. You knew somehow Domino's pizza was involved, and it made you immediately go, dang, I'm hungry. Maybe I should order some Domino's. That's what they were hoping for. That is branded content. Like us having coffee on the coffee chat. Maybe you will now want to go get some coffee. That is what branded content means. So if I use it as an example, I have a food pantry and I need Home Depot to help us out. Well, Home Depot really doesn't have anything to do with food. However, Home Depot wants to be associated with helping the community. Home Depot wants their product seen. So maybe the boxes that the food come in are branded with Home Depot's logo. So when I mean understanding what your business model is how are you relating what you're doing, in our case, branded content, for the people who are sponsoring or advertising? How is their logo, their product, their business going to be seen? Literally visible, figuratively, I mean, literally. Whoop. Just got a little coffee on there. We don't want to do that.
The excitement is there. The excitement is there.
It's there. And figuratively, because sometimes it's not a physical product. For example, one of our sponsors is a mortgage company, New Res Mortgage. Can't show you. I don't want to show you like a stack of papers and go, this is what your mortgage looks like. But when they are on set volunteering, they're showing what the culture of their workplace is like, people giving back to the community. They're wearing their logo of their shirt. They're talking about their business and how the culture and the community of their business comes and works together for the community. That, my friends, is invaluable. That kind of stuff is priceless. So that is how branded content works. So I had to understand my business model so that I could relate it back to the sponsor on how, by sponsoring us, this is what it will do for them and how they'll be placed.
Yeah.
What kind of research would you have to do for another company to figure out like really what it is that they need? Right? Do you know what I mean? Like that feels difficult to me. And I'm a researcher. I love to research, but understanding those motivations really is more psychological than it is like business mind. You know?
Absolutely. So you can dig into the culture of a business. For the easiest place, go look at their mission statement. That's the first one. Go look at, you do research about the company. What have they, where is their philanthropy? Where have they given? I was going to say philanthropy. That is not a word.
You belong in the candy doer lane, like with me. So it's good. And I love how you speaks.
Speaks. Thank you. You've got to see what, and it's all there. You could Google it and just find out where do they give? Do they have a social responsibility team? Look at that team. Because a lot of companies don't give to the military. That's not their core. They may be things with education, with LGBTQ, with affordable housing. It all depends on the company, on where they do their giving, but you can find this information. So, for example, with New Res, one big placement for them was military give back, giving to the community, being military friendly. So immediately that made sense for us to partner because we are honoring and supporting veteran and military families. We had something in common. And sometimes it may not be, here's sort of a little workaround. It may not be that any of that is visible. However, the chief marketing officer happens to be a veteran. There's a door. There's a way to talk about something. So it may not have been an avenue that company was considering, but pitched correctly to the right person at that organization could be the game changer. It could be the one thing that makes the difference.
That's so smart, Maria. Yeah. Like such good, work.
Finding that connection. Yeah. Find the connection.
Got to find a connection, because if they are not interested, and we've done pitches where we've seen people just blank in the face because we're not hitting a key point for them. You need to know that. You need to know who your audience is, not just for your product, but the person you're pitching. Yeah. What's important to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. You saying that is just like made me think of a lot of times where I've brought up, like, it's interesting. People connect with me when I say I'm from Hawaii, right? And you get the lean in and they're like, tell me more. You're right. So when you find the connection that works the best, you like you said, it won't be a blank face. It hopefully will be that lean in. And now I'm really looking at you, so
what is that thing?
Yes. Finding it.
You have to find a connection because you're meeting with someone that you don't know. You may have never met. It may be the first time. Right. So they trust me before they've gotten on that meeting, even if it was 5 minutes prior to that call, either they did it or someone handed them the bullet points, cliff notes of your business. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. So they're not walking into that meeting having no idea who you are or what you do. Yeah. They know something. So you have to be just as prepared. You need to know their business, and most importantly, why it will benefit them to be a part of your business, to sponsor you, to advertise with you, to invest in you. 100%.
Okay. Okay. So your first pitch, you don't do any of this, right? Or you did your best. We're going to say you did your best. You gave it an A+ effort, right? Right. So question number 3 then, Maria, comes to, what are the important parts of a pitch? Or if we're taking it back to that first pitch, how did you refine your pitch for your next meetings that made now your experience different?
The number one thing was, again, knowing their audience and how sponsoring our show would benefit them. That was number one. Number two, and I'm not in my strength finders. I am not a numbers person. Not my thing. However, you have to understand the algorithm. You have to understand why going to them. For us, we're on social media. We have a TV show. The first thing oftentimes we're going to lead with is what our viewership is. It's 4.5 million. Oh, I've just said a number. Their brain is starting to go with, how does that 4.5 million translate? So we're going to do some really simple math right now. Does everybody have the math hat on?
Wait. No, I forgot. No, I'm just kidding.
It was my worst subject, but I'm going to try really hard, Maria.
We're going to try. I'm going to try and use some easy math. So if you're asking for $100,000, that's your ask, right? And that's another one. Yeah. No, have your ask ready, because if you're all in the feels of how this is great and they come up with, so what is it that you want? Yeah. You should have answered that.
Yeah.
You should have answered that. And I didn't in my first one. And I was actually afraid because my brain started going, if I ask for what I really want, they're going to say no. Because immediately that's what you think. They're going to say no. Yeah. They're going to say no. And all of that aura is emanating. Mm-hmm. And if you don't believe in yourself, who the heck is going to believe in you? But getting back to math, you have $100,000. That's what you're asking for. It's $100,000. Your show sees, or our show sees, 4.5 million. Get the calculator out. What is it a cost per view? It's pennies. It's pennies.
4.5 cents or 45 cents.
4.5?
No, 4.5 cents.
4.5 cents. So when you break it down like that and go, where else are you going to have that many eyeballs on your product
for that cheap?
And is it a one-timer, or is it are you asking for $100,000 for one episode or the whole year? So how many episodes do you do in a year? 6. Now do the math even more. It's fractions of pennies to have that visibility. That is what makes sense to them. So they have to understand what's their risk, what they're going to get from it. And it's all the parts, like I said, that I don't like. I like the feels, but that you have to come in with so that they understand what they're getting into, what it's going to cost them. And usually they will never agree to that first number. I have never had anyone agree to the first number yet. It's all about negotiating, but knowing those things and coming well equipped, that is so important. And I know that because we work in television, you need to practice, y'all, for real, in front of a mirror so you see your face. And then do you ever see those movies where they do that? Hi, I'm Joe. And then he comes back. Hi, I'm Joe. Hey. Yes. Practice so that you see what you do with your hands. Yeah. Right. Am I trying to be cool? Am I like, hey,
yeah. Do you do something weird with your eye? Like, do you wink and you're like, wait, that's not not an appropriate pitch. Like, right. Yeah.
Like,
right.
And you start to realize the things you do yourself, but it gives you a clear understanding of, given that moment, what am I going to look like when I am pitching?
Yeah.
Because I don't think a pitch is ever really done just on an email. Always ends up being a Zoom call or an in-person situation. Did I answer the question?
Oh my gosh.
I'm
yes,
hoping.
you did.
Yeah.
No, you actually gave me so much food for thought with a lot of this, and just a reminder again. And I loved how you broke down the ask with the viewership. And I mean, like, not just, hey, I'm asking for 100,000 and I have 4.5 million views, right? You literally broke it down and talked in a language that they could start saying, that makes sense. We would be stupid to not take this.
You don't want to give them a reason to say no.
No.
Give them every reason to say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think another thing I really love about this, Maria, is that, like, you gave people a starting point, right? Like anyone who's out there who's a small business owner probably doesn't have 4.5 million viewers looking at their social media, right?
Yes,
right.
kids.
But how many do you have? What is it that is a reasonable ask for where you currently stand? What is it that you're really looking for? You know, where is the money going to benefit that business if it's not in views, right? If it's not your social platforms and you don't have that kind of audience, what else can you, yes, where is your value proposition, right? And that's like, I love taking it back, like looking at those numbers for yourself, because you have to understand your numbers, right? I mean, that was one of your key points. You have to know, you have to be able to rattle off, listen, if you give me $1,000, I'm going to be able to give you this in return.
Yes.
You should know that just off the top of your head. I don't. Listen, I'm just going to call myself out here. I don't know that off the top of my head. But guess who's going to work on that now that I've had this pitching conversation with Maria Reed, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But part two to that is, if that's not going to be the value proposition a business needs from you, what is? And being able to decipher that next step. Right.
Yeah.
And I think business owners, this is where they step back and they go, oh, I have nothing to offer.
Everyone has something to offer.
I knew
you just have to
that.
find, you just have to find what it is for your business. Absolutely.
I love that.
Wait, Cam, this is such a last minute question. Okay. You must also get pitched quite often, Maria, I bet. So I'm so curious. Do you ever, because you're kind, do you ever say, hey, I can't, but here, can I make a suggestion to your pitch? Or do you know what I mean? Do you ever give back in that way? Or you know what I mean?
All the time.
Yeah.
I get pitched all of the time. And it was very hard. People have said, and you ladies know me, it is hard for me to say no. Very hard for me to say no. And I have learned over time that saying no is not bad, but I have to look, like when they're pitching me, how is this going to benefit our business? Sometimes it doesn't benefit our business at all, but I care about the person. I care about what they're doing, and I'm going to invest anonymously. Here you go. And it has nothing to do with anything else but wanting to support someone else. I do that as a give back. I've had to learn to say no. And that's hard. It's very hard because you're like, as you're saying, you're like, I'm such a bad person. All that's going in your head. But if it is not, if it doesn't align with your values, if it doesn't align with your business, if it's just not the right fit, you have to learn to say no, or not at this time. It may not be something that you can do at that time. I'd like to revisit this next year, or I'd like to revisit this in the next quarter, if you really want to. But you have to set those boundaries, and it's hard.
No,
it's a hard one, but it's necessary.
Okay. Thank you for answering that. I just was like, wait, you also got to get pitched. So it's got to be interesting to pitch and to also be pitched to, right? It's like, but what a great way to learn and be like, well, I'm never going to do what this guy just tried to pitch to me. That was super cringe. I'm going to notate that to never be like that, you know?
You also said, do I give advice? Or you asked, do I also give advice?
Right.
Yes, I do. If they seem receptive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'll say, hey, you know, if you ever want to talk pitching, I'd love to chat with you. And I don't ever say give you tips. What I like to say is I'd like to share with you what I've learned.
Oh, I like that.
Because then it's not I'm not poking at you going, man, your pitch is awful. I'm saying this is what I've learned, and this is what's helped me. Maybe you'll find it useful.
So I'm curious then, like, because I feel like pitching is kind of like interviewing for a job, right? So is it appropriate to go back and say, hey, how can I improve my pitch? Or what was missing from it? I mean, are people willing to give that kind of advice? Or is this just kind of a Maria thing? Like, cause you got this big heart and you're like, I love everyone. I want to help you.
I want to help you all. Sometimes I don't think I would do it on a cold pitch, like someone I didn't know. Not necessarily know it. You got to feel it out. You got to kind of be a psychologist. Like, did they just give you that face and like, bye, thanks for the call. I've got to go. Or, you know, hey, you know, It depends. And I've also said, we've said this to networks. We'd love to come back and revisit this next year, or, revisit this the next season. What are some things that you would like to see from us?
That's a good way to do it.
What would you like to see from us? One of the big things, as you can see, Patrick in the background.
Love it.
One of the big things that has often been said to me is we'd love to revisit this once your husband is a permanent fixture on the show. We honor military and veteran families. I am a military spouse, but where's the veteran?
Right.
Where's my sidekick or his sidekick?
Right.
And so
your sidekick,
right? It usually is, when you look at the formula of home improvement shows, it's a duo.
Yeah.
Usually is. So where is that? They want this. This is what they're expecting to see, but they haven't seen that. So we've had from several networks said, once he's ready, once you're at that position where he's retiring or is going to be a permanent fixture on the show, we'd love to talk about that. Don't get me wrong. I was butthurt.
Yeah. No.
Girl was butthurt. 8 years of building.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's true. And I had to accept that. So,
but I think I'm like accepting that what you're saying right here is right. Like, even if you don't agree with their thing, it is that's where they find the value, right? That's where they're going to say yes. So can you make that happen for them and still maintain your business model, still maintain your mission, your values, and your purpose of your business, right?
Right.
So sometimes, like, bringing another person onto your show is not a simple fix, right? But sometimes there might be a simple fix to navigate to what they need in order for them to say yes, right?
Yeah.
I love that idea behind that, because I think again, like when you get told no, I think people get very afraid to ask again. And I love that you're saying, I ask, can we revisit this in a year? Can we come back to this in a year?
And I would say do it at that moment if you get the no at that moment. So sometimes it'll be like, we're going to talk about this, we'll get back to you. And then they never get back to you. But if at that moment, and I'll touch on that as well. But if at that moment, which has been said to us, hey, it's a pass for us, immediately I would say, understand, would love to know what we can do so that when we revisit this, I'm not asking, I'm saying when. When we revisit this, that we are more in line with what your needs are, that we're ready to be part of your team, that, giving them and then they might at that moment say, like they've said with me, we'd love to see him.
Yeah.
So they've already given me an open door. Yeah. I don't want to wait and just walk away with a no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want a solution to fixing for the next pitch and you got it. And that's awesome. I think, and it would be almost like wrong to try to go back and not produce what they had said to you. Hey, we want to see Patrick. And you go back and you're like, I have my cat.
Yeah, I have my cat.
Cute. Well, this one. And they're like, she was definitely not actively listening. So,
exactly. And still connected. This is one thing that people often do when they pitch is that it's just like pitch, no, goodbye.
Yeah.
Stay connected with that person.
Yes.
Hey, Jack, we're just going to use that name.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Jack, I just wanted to share with you. And again, I'm using my business as an example. So, hey, Jack, I just want to share with you this incredible story of a military family we just helped, and you find some connection. In our last conversation, we talked about cats, and there was this really cute cat in the video. Yeah. So I hope you love it. Happy Cat Day.
Yeah. Right.
Give them a reason to open that email.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Go,
yes.
Okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. Just keeps in their mind a little bit,
Maria, you remind me. So, okay. In my former life, when I ran restaurants,
making candy.
Yeah, making candy. But I would have to go out in the community and I have to pitch like our big catering packages to the big companies around in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And one of them was like the police department, right? And I met with this lady and she was fantastic. And she's like, okay. And I was like, oh, no? Okay, right. But we talked, I connected because guess what my connection was? My grandfather was a retired Honolulu detective, right? So we talked about that. And I said, oh, you even have one of his photos in the hallway here, blah, blah, blah. Did that with Hawaiian Airlines. Oh, you have my grandmother's photo in your main headquarters, like from the 50s, right? I said that. I'm like, look, she's right there. And they're like, you're kidding. Anyway, so I never got the yes then or a month later. But then when I thought they forgot, but because I did stay connected, like you said, hey, Jack, oh my gosh, look at the cat. I always would say, hey, hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for the meeting, blah, 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 blah. I got continuous orders once they were ready.
When they were ready.
Right. But I stayed connected, but I made the most of that meeting, even though I felt like maybe, oh, I don't know if they're going to say something today. Yes. Like, oh yeah, let's book. They came back when they were ready, but I stayed positive. I stayed open and I was ready when they were ready, you know?
Well, I think you also, you act a little bit like, oh, they said no, you know,
right.
I'm gonna be all butthurt. That's my word.
Right.
About you can't. And you utilize things that you have in front of you. Holidays.
Yeah.
That's a great time. And it's not a weird moment to step in with a, hey, we just wanted to wish you and everyone at your organization happy holidays.
Yeah.
Looking forward to picking up conversation again next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just this, and it may just go, you're trash. It may, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. And Anna and I were talking about this. You never know when you're going to run into somebody in an elevator.
There you go.
Because it has happened to me in Vegas, in airplanes, that I am sitting in an airplane for the next 3 hours with just so happens to be like the vice president of some major network.
That is the universe. That is the universe saying, yo, Maria, ready? You ready?
You start with that. Hi. Did you know that
No. Hi, I think you're a unicorn. And no, you have to find a moment. You can't just like, how did I know? And this was so bad. How did I know that that person was that person? Well, number one, I had already been doing research on all the different networks that we wanted to pitch to. So it was a picture that I remembered. And I was like, at that moment going, is it you? I'm going to grab my phone while I'm looking really normal and go research that. And it was. So I had to find a moment that made sense to do something. And it was, you know, I don't even know what I was doing, but like the steward, flight attendant, don't want to say stewardess, flight attendant came by and he just said, hey, do you want, they want to know if you want something to drink. I'm like, oh, open opportunity. We are now friends.
Yep.
We are PFFs.
Yeah.
And it just gave us this time to talk, and you don't like jump in with that pitch like, oh, let me attack you. We started talking about kids and soccer and 10 million other things, and he was the one who asked me, so what do you do? I didn't, and inside I'm like, I already know you, I know everything about you, you know nothing about me, I'm not a weird stalker. And it led into that conversation that has now turned into a 5-year friendship. That has been very supportive. Has their network wanted us? No, it has not, for a multitude of reasons.
Yes,
we still want
keyword.
him. But it is a friendship that when the timing is right for both of us, I think will be an opportunity that neither one of us want to miss. So, but airplane.
Yeah.
That feels like the perfect final thought, right?
Yes.
For like this like pitching conversation when the time is right, an opportunity that neither of you want to miss. I love that as kind of like the culmination of everything we've talked about today for pitching, for being prepared, for knowing your business, for knowing value propositions, for knowing their business, right? All of those things you talked about, for standing in front of a mirror and being like, hey, Jack.
I'm gonna wink now every time and be like, it's mine and Anna and Maria's thing. We do this. This is
You're gonna walk up to each other. Hi.
Yes. Hey, Maria. Hey, Anna. And then they're gonna be like, I don't know what's wrong with these ladies, but Anyway, no, and I agree. I love Maria. I anytime I talk with you, I always learn something, whether it's about how to hang my mirror appropriately or how to like talk with people, pitching people. But you're another business owner. And this is just another reminder why I love this show is you get to talk to so many different people in so many different industries doing so many different things. And we all run a business, and you just kind of shared something that equals across the board to no matter what they do, you know, and we're so much more alike than we think in that regards as small business owners or big business owners. Even big business owners still have to pitch somebody, right? They have investors as well. So I think your advice can go all across the way. So universe, bring Maria to public speak in a very like $1 million job to your sales team, because I think that's going to be important.
I'm in.
So
anyway. If I could just end with one final note.
Yes.
No doesn't mean no forever. It might just mean no right now.
Oh,
gosh, that's so good.
Yep. It's so true. So true.
So learn from it.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Forward motion. Forward motion.
Golf clap, and that means like a lot of things, Maria. So okay. Well, as Anna is writing, probably, and it's going to go across our screen if you're listening on the podcast, is no doesn't mean no forever. It might just mean no for now. Okay, that is Maria's last thoughts. So with that being said, I'm going to actually bring up our toolkit, which we absolutely love.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys, it's been a minute, and I'm like trying to decide how I want to do this. Okay, there we go. All right, Maria. We love not only one, but there's two things that people can have in the toolkit, and they can do both. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about how somebody can grab these, do these. What are these toolkits that people should have?
Okay. So the first one is that nominations are always open for deserving veteran and military families. That's our show. We honor military families with surprise home makeovers. In order to do that, I need families. They need to be nominated. Yeah. And I will say this, yes, you can nominate yourself, because so many veteran and military families are like, oh, so-and-so and so-and-so, but I need it too, but I can't nominate myself. That's bad. Of course you can nominate yourself. So nominations are open all the time. We're doing a big promotion right now because we are actively seeking for 2025 and great news, 2026. So we are, like I said, always looking for families that are deserving, great stories that you want to honor for what they do in the community. So yes, that. Then you can also pick up, we do a lot of different social content, but we have a maintenance guide that can help you kind of figure out what you need to do during certain seasons for your home, have yourself home ready, whether you rent or whether you own.
Yes.
And I always thought when we were renting, like, I don't have to do that. I don't need to change the air filter. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. These are things you need to do. So it's some simple tips. And then every quarter, we're sending out a magazine where everyone who opens up the magazine in our newsletter, we give out $100 Amazon gift card to. Not every single person, we pick one. I wish I could do it for every single person.
One of these days.
What, right?
The magazine is so good. I read it cover to cover. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a lot about the makeovers, the families, and different things. So it's like, I feel like it's a big fam, come over to the community. But these are just some great tips that we would love to share.
I love it. And I want to kind of just make this really clear. You don't have to be a military person to nominate, because I will tell you, conversations, I really come more from a civilian community than a military, just because of my length of time. And every time I've talked with a friend, they're like, my brother is in the military, or my sister's husband is in the military. You can nominate them. So I really want to encourage our civilian audience to really kind of take a look at this and like, oh my gosh, I could just nominate somebody. So, and also, you know what? You could also be a renter. Sure, there may be some like military pertaining things, but there are still great tips in the guide that anybody can take. And it's a reminder that when you do run on to an amazing military family that deserves something, the guide can be like, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to nominate somebody. So
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I want to put this out there as civilians, you too can help with this. So we need you. You need to kind of help us with the mission.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. This is you practicing a pitch also. I'm just going to throw that out there, right? You're pitching when you
That's
when you
exactly what you did. And you looked at your audience. Yes, you did.
Yes.
Thank you. Hey, look, Maria, you kind of gave me some inspiration, so I thought we'd do it, Love
it.
All right. And don't worry, guys, if you're watching on the podcast, we're going to have links to all of those great things for Maria's nomination and for the maintenance guide. You'll also find it on our blog. But Maria, tell everybody where you want them to like hang out with you socially.
D, all of the above. But TikTok is super fun. I always think that's where we like get weird. We just like, we're going to go to the home improvement store and just go get weird. But, you can see the shows on YouTube. You can also see them on VetStream TV, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Yes. So if you want to pitch to me or you're very interested in sponsoring our show, head on over to LinkedIn.
Yes.
No, and anywhere, any place that someone wants to connect with us. Send us a DM. We're always interested in questions because we can't get better and we can't give our audience what they want if we don't know what they want.
Yes. Feedback is always important no matter what kind of feedback is because it's helpful, right?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. I've said before, good feedback, bad feedback, it's feedback. Yeah. That's like publicity. Yes. Good PR, bad PR is PR. Yes. They're talking about you. Right. So go ahead.
I love that so much. So, okay, you guys, Maria's everywhere. You cannot not find her. If you can't find her, you're not really even trying, guys. You haven't even opened up your phone. Okay. Yeah. So, oh wait, I winked and I put my wrong eye toward the thing. This is like the start of my life. She's winking, guys. So
come on, let's finish this off with a wink. 1, 2, 3.
Why my mouth did some.
Where's Jack?
Where's Jack? He's floating away actually on a piece of wood right now, hoping to say,
love it.
Okay, Marie, we've never shared this part with you, but as we end here, you're going to hear some Oscar music because I need to keep my mouth quiet while Anna does us off the show. So if you hear something, that's us getting ready. Yep, there it is.
Maria, thank you so very much for being our guest on today's show. You were fabulous, just like expected, but you gave so much good value to our audience, and we really appreciate you for that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on the 15-ish minute coffee chat. As always, you can find us at AnnaandSelena.com, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or on your favorite podcast platform. Hit that like and subscribe. Help us boost our numbers a little for that next time that we head out to pitch somebody for our own business. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you on the next season 14 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat.
Bye.